There we go. Hello, 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 everybody. This is Elizabeth Clare Brewington. I'm with Brightside Global Trade, a magazine about trade shows and events. And I'm so excited today because we were invited to this absolutely fantastic gourmet dinner reception with Oscar and Jackie. And we tasted some fantastic foods and wine tasting. And my goodness, it was like taking us and transporting us overseas to the Mediterranean region. And what was even more exciting about the food was that it was all healthy and amazingly made. So I am really honored to meet both of you and to have this interview and talk to you about NutriFit. So let me start with Jackie. Jackie, tell me about how this whole thing began and what inspires you.
Well, you know, specifically with respect to NutriFit, I mean, the whole thing began because I wanted to help people live a longer, healthier life and eat better. I mean, sounds very simplistic, and it actually was that sort of naive, I can, help millions of people if I just do it one person at a time, kind of, how you are when you're young. You think you can change the world one person at a time, but 33 years later, I'm still doing that. And that's the main core of NutriFit. Is we are a healthy food company. Oscar is our executive sous chef, and he and I work together, daily, providing healthy meals and bringing nutritional solutions to people. Hi, Elton.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Sorry to join you.
No,
Good to see you. Good to
we're
see you
all
both.
together now, so that's all that matters. The miracle of technology.
Yeah.
So that's how NutriFit started. It really was born out of my father's very untimely death due to heart disease. He had a heart attack and died when he was 46. And he was away on vacation, and basically my last memories of him are seeing them off at the airport. And I swore that I would try to prevent other people from experiencing that kind of trauma in their teens. So that was the passion, and remains the passion today behind what NutriFit does. Shoko is Oscar and my latest creation. It came from Oscar. I'm just the passenger here. So I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about the evolution of Shoko USA.
Well, thank you for that. But it actually came from both. Shoko USA started with an idea. It was developed while thinking. Chef Jackie actually came in one day and said, you know what, people aren't able to get together, and it breaks my heart that I see some people missing other people, and they cannot say, they cannot hug each other, they cannot do anything together. So a great thing would be to get them together. And that's how we started developing all of that. Everybody knows that always in a great day or a celebration, every celebration turns around food. So we wanted to do a high-end event that was around food, but was all about getting everybody together. And that's how Shoko started. And well, actually, the Shoko name started in Spain. And it's a secret society of people that love food, and they just wanted to start designing different foods and presenting it to different people so they could criticize each other and make themselves better. There's a lot of Shoko in the world. There's a lot of it in Spain. The Ritz-Carlton has one. There's a bunch of different ways. And now I feel like we have the best one right here. Plus,
I
the thing
know.
is,
Very good.
the thing is, all of my life, I mean, I was the executive chef at L'Espadon in Paris, in the Ritz Palace. And all of my life and all of my studies, everything was a lot of cream and a lot of butter, and you have mounds of butter, and you have plenty of things all the time. And everything was that. That was the base for everything. But then once I got to NutriFit, I always like to say I got nutrified, because then now the challenge is I come up with some ideas, and then I said, oh, Chef Jackie, you know what? I think we should do this or this or that. Then she said, oh, okay, but let's change it to this, and this would be better. And he gets healthified. And then I come up with another thing, and then she comes up with other thing. So everything is a great symphony of us doing it together.
It's really a collaboration.
That's amazing. Yeah. I love the fact that you guys are so richly connected to the earth and food resources and that kind of thing, and farming. And, of course, we're here in North Carolina, we're farm central, but a lot of people don't know how to combine those food elements to a nutritional value so that it has a great benefit for your health and for the taste and for the use of the food as well. That's a great value add. Value add.
And the smaller towns have absolutely no access to healthy food. And I think what Jackie talked about, her father, I really relate to that, because people have no idea that just changing your food habits can save your life. And I say that I'm not going against medicine or anything. I like modern medicine, and I appreciate all the research that goes behind all the work that's put into that. But it's also your lifestyle and what you eat. So that's phenomenal. And the Shoko story is absolutely fantastic, to think about all these secret societies, and now you can be on a Zoom call with NutriFit and have access to some of those secrets. So that's awesome.
One thing too that's amazing. Go ahead.
I was going to say we're very lucky in that we, and it is luck. Honestly, it's luck, because I sometimes I will, in our event, if there's people that don't know us, I will say, I waited 30 years for somebody like Oscar to walk in the door. I've had wonderful cooks and chefs and managers work for me, but I've never until a year ago, practically almost to the day, Oscar, had somebody who has that side of it, but also has an understanding and appreciation and a conscientiousness about the health aspects of what we do, and an appreciation for the fact that we do have a farm, and we are, trying daily with our cooking to incorporate the herbs, the spices, the flowers, the stems, the seeds, the leaves of things that we grow ourselves. For me, it's like I finally got in the right line and my number got called.
Right. No, absolutely.
I feel very fortunate that way, because it's you as an operator, you live with compromise. You take the best you can from the people that you have, and you're grateful for it. And then one day you find a professional soulmate that really gets you, that understands that your passion is mission driven, not, you're just not being a bitch. You actually have reasons for what you believe and say. And Oscar's been a godsend in that regard, because I didn't think that person existed, and I'm sure nobody else thought that either.
I know, because when I opened the box, I was blown away, Oscar. I was like, with 4 desserts, I was like, this is a gourmet chef. And how in the world can you do healthy food with gourmet food? I mean, that's such a That's such a phenomenal, and every bite was. I mean, those sweet potato latkes were just outstanding.
Yeah. Well,
so I mean, I was just like, and the halwa, and everything. The whole thing was just such an experience.
This is a revolutionary time frame, though. I mean, before we would, live to eat. Now, of course, the combination of taste buds and focus, we eat to live. And, they say that, of course, that there's the day that you were born by calendar, but when you discover why you're here, that's the day you were really born. That's the day you really come into yourself. And at the end of the day, we have some work to do because, we're talking about, eat to live with great taste and value and nutritional benefits. It's enormously revolutionary, and where we could take the foods that are good for us and we combine them in a way that tastes good, and we get the noveling benefit of all of that. I think, there's a world ahead. You think about the people who are really suffering because of health. But if they were to really start to think through, okay, now I need to do this a different way. I need to eat to live. And foods can be healing in the right combination, in the right portions, and with the right taste. And and learning that even in itself is a real challenge.
Yeah.
But the taste that combine well together and taste well. Oh man, we haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Haven't even scratched the surface. Oh, not really. And your program and the foods that you bring into view have great value and a great benefit for people who are challenged or really pushed and passionate about that. And that's what we really need to uncover, the passion about foods. And your program goes a long way with help doing that. And I appreciate you for that.
So let's break it up for our audience, and then we'll save the best. Oscar will get into your story at the end and close with a strong finish, because I know that's got to be a story, because your cooking is second to none, and just having a gourmet chef with healthy food is just a fantastic combination. But let's break it down for our audience. So you have NutriFit. Tell us where the website is. Tell us what people can expect from it, and then we'll talk about the fantastic tours that you are doing with the Mediterranean food, which is known for, everybody knows it's the best food for your health. And then Elton may have a few questions, and then we'll talk about you, Oscar. So tell me, break it down for my audience. Tell us about you've got two websites now. You've got NutriFit and Shoko. So tell us about what can they order, how can they order, tell us about what is available to them.
Well, on the NutriFit website, and it's actually NutriFitOnline.com. And that's an important distinction, because there is a NutriFit actually in your part of the country, in Florida, that sells supplements. And I don't think they're a particularly great company, because we get a lot of clients, people that call looking for the other NutriFit that charged them for something that they didn't like or something like that. Anyway, it's NutriFitOnline.com. And on that website, people will find some information about Shoko and our events, but primarily information about our nutritionally controlled meal programs. So we have two basic umbrellas. We have personal programs and we have a la carte ordering. And people can see literally hundreds of different options when it comes to foods that can be ordered for either shipment nationally here in the United States, anywhere in the continental United States, or for delivery by our own fleet of drivers here in Southern California. So that's what's on the NutriFitOnline.com website. It's all about NutriFit. It talks about our story. There's some videos about our farm. There's explanations of the different kinds of healthy programs we offer, from Body After Baby, which is the title of the book that I wrote about 10 years ago that was published. And so we have maternal programs, we have family programs, and we have individual programs, and they're all highly customized. The ShokoUSA.com site is dedicated to Shoko USA, which is basically an event, culinary event company, and that's obviously a division of NutriFit. It's actually a division of Simply Health Growers. So not to make it too complicated, but Simply Health Growers is the brand of products that come from the farm. The farm is owned by NutriFit. It's leased, well, it's not leased. We operate there. We grow the produce that we use in the meals that we provide to our clients. And Simply Health Growers is the sort of the division, if you will, that started Shoko, because we do feature foods from the farm in all of our events. That's kind of a hallmark of the menus that Oscar develops. They all revolve around something that's seasonal that we grow ourselves. So if you go to shokousa.com, you'll see everything about Shokos. You'll see Oscar's biography, you'll see a little bit about me, you'll see a little bit about the farm, and you'll see a lot about the different events that we can offer. So that's, it sounds more complicated than it is, basically.
No, it's very simple. Yeah, no, I think it sounds really absolutely fantastic. And I think for those of you watching, we'll make sure that you have these links, and we hope that you will come to one of these culinary experiences that Elton and I were honored to be at the Spain one. And I'm just thinking about the eggplant and the filet mignon, and it was just such a fantastic meal. Yeah. And an introduction to Spanish food as well. As so each of their events, they'll introduce you to a new culinary experience, and it's really second to none.
And I don't know. I find myself surrounded by food in a way that, I mean, historically, we served as food critics in South Asia for a whole year, touring the different restaurants, and it was amazing because we featured our reviews and conditions about what food prepares. And I find myself too, and I have to probably haste away in a minute because I work at a food bank as a volunteer, trying to make sure people get food. So just so it's a really an amazing time, and I'm swooned into this element of food, and food takes on so many more powerful capacities in terms of what we eat. And I'm just recently swooned by the elements of health regarding food and how you can get healthier eating better food or food qualities. And as I don't know, I'm the grandson of a farmer, but I didn't set out to be a farmer. And I have a small garden, but we're doing a lot. But your impact could be quite amazing, has great caliber and capacity. And I see what you're doing on a vast macular economic level, what it does and what it could achieve and reach. And Oscar, of course, putting the food combinations together. It takes almost an engineering degree. I mean, it's engineering because you have to take the climate of the food along with the taste of the food and the health benefits and categories of the food. So we move away from the fat content of food to the healthier, lean, nutritional benefit. And I think if we scratch the surface and we really probe into this, I don't know if I'm thinking that, that we're a library of energy, but who knows what this could do. And so your input, Oscar, I mean, I'd love to hear more about your nutritional, positioning and the recipe structures that you're headed toward as it relates to energy, if you have anything that way. I mean, because we think that certain food combinations give us certain levels of energy, but another food level of combinations, maybe poof, we just blow up into the universe or something. I don't know. I'm just speculating like that. But tell us.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing about this is the relationship that we have with the food is the most intimate one that you can have. It's the only thing that it's the only professional work that you can do that actually gets inside people, that you can have them um, happy, you can have them sleepy, you can have them in all different ways just because of what you give them.
Wow.
And that's one of the
Okay.
things that actually impressed me when I came into NutriFit, because my life has been all around um, giving people moments. Yes, I've done a bunch of great moments, celebrations, birthdays, engagements, all of that, but never changed a life. And here, the difference is I'm not making a moment, I'm making a life for a person. So now that person, I know they can live more or they can actually live. And Jackie, if you allow me, there was a story that I always take you very into account that I love. Um, there was a little girl. I don't know. She was maybe between 13, 15 years old, and she had to be hospitalized for some ingestion issues that she had. She had some problems with the food. So she had to be hospitalized here. So the parents were looking everywhere to see where they could find somewhere that they could feed her. Because in the hospital, they told her, you know what, we're going to keep her for a month or 2 months. And the only thing that we are able to give her with all the restrictions that she has is Ensure. That's all she's gonna eat. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And obviously, that's not a life, right? So uh, Jackie spent a bunch of time with the parents, telling them what we could do and trying to design whole a whole diet for them, so that could actually help her get out of the hospital and be strong and all of that. So moving forward to that, after that, I get all the specs and we start making all the food for her. So they took some food right away that same day, and then they kept coming and coming and coming to pick it up. After But every time after 2 or 3 days, they came for new food and they took it, and they were taking it to their daughter. And we always asked, how's your daughter? How is she doing? I hope she's great. And then they came back and they came back after a little while, maybe 3 weeks or a month. There were four of them instead of the normal two. There were four of them that came to the office, and then we said, "Oh, hi, how are you? Here's your food," and we had everything ready and the smoothies and everything that they needed. And we had everything ready, and then it was, I think, one of the only times, maybe 2 or 3 times, we did it together, Chef Jackie and I, that went to the door to say hi to them, to greet them. And then we said, "Hi, how are you? And how is she? How is she feeling?" And then two of them kind of separated, and then they said, "That's her." And it was so
Wow.
amazing. She still had the little
Yeah.
the little bracelet from the hospital, and then she told us,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, just one more thing." And we said, "What?" "I loved all the flowers. That made my day." And we were able to
Oh,
put the flowers from the farm in there. So it was an amazing story. So that's why I'm so impressed and I'm so grateful to be here. Because now, like I
uh-huh.
said, I'm not changing or making moments, we're changing lives.
Very good. Very
Yes, you are
good.
changing lives. And I think you're right. Because when you look at food and it's so beautiful in this beautiful box that I actually kept because I love the box so much. And then you have the flower and you have the colors and it's appetizing. And and then and it's a health in every bite. So I think what you're doing is fun. And 9 courses. I mean, having a whole menu like that. So what inspires these menus? I mean, where did all this 9 course? I actually, because we are tasters and we do reviews, we've actually been to some of these elaborate dinners, and I think that the when you change courses, they give you all this luscious drinks to whet your appetite. And you did, I think, a pita with olives And I think all this great stuff was amazing. So tell us what brought about the 9-course meals and all about the menus, and what inspires you every day when you wake up in the morning.
Oh, you want to take that, Chef?
No, I think that question is for you, Oscar.
Well, we started with 5, but then when you have somebody that says all the time, people deserve more, and keeps pushing you, you just get there. That's how we get
Yeah.
we got to 9 courses because of Chef Jackie, actually. So I developed the things. We start with one dream. The good thing is that I'm so spoiled here. Like one of the things is I love the nature, and I love how nature can communicate to us. And I'm talking about something simple like a tomato. Tomatoes here, there you can find a lot of them without any flavor. But then the best tomatoes in the world are called San Marzano tomatoes. And then I said, I would love San Marzano tomatoes, but I cannot get them here. I know it's impossible to grow in the US, so there's just no way, but I would love that. And then Chef Jackie said, we'll think about it. And then Phil, she calls him Farmer Phil. I call him Magic Hands Phil. Made it happen. He grew some San Marzanos in the farm, and I was able to have San Marzanos. We made some San Marzanos jam. We made some San Marzano marinara, and it was amazing. So now you get inspired by the season and by what we have in the farm. And a lot of people have been saying for years, this is a farm to table. This is a farm to table. Where's your farm? Well, in this case, we do have a farm, and it comes from the farm, and it comes directly from the farm in nitrogen. In hydrogen cars, and everything is with the nature. So everything comes from the farm to us, and then we start making a menu. So that's the theme. And then to start making the menu, we buy the wines. And Chef Jackie made a mistake. That was she gave me her card, so I bought a bunch of wines. And now we have a lot of wines. We have a whole repertoire of wines in the office. And then we start tasting wines, and then I go, this one and this one and this one are gonna be the next wines for the next theme. Like our next one is gonna be Greece.
Yeah, I
And
know.
we always do it on the last Friday of every month. So what we did is we choose the wines, and then we start developing the food around it. So the difference between us and a lot of restaurants is, in different restaurants, you're gonna get somebody that the server or the sommelier is gonna get to you, and then they're gonna tell you, oh, for what you chose, this or this one might kind of go with it. Well, in this, we start the marriage between the food and the wine from the beginning. So we start with the wine, and then we develop the food around it. That's how we get to it. And plus, as you saw at the end, you get to be an artist yourself too.
Wow.
Wow.
It's amazing. I'm sorry. I have to bust away because it is responsibilities, but I'm so glad that we had a moment or two, and Claire will carry on. But I'm just inspired by this whole, connection, and I really want to explore the potential for, East meets West. You guys are the West Coast, we're the East Coast, and what that could mean, how we could, because here we are, a vast community of agricultural people, but they don't know the power and the capacity for their food connections, and they don't know what to do with them. And that could be big that way.
So if we're here with Jackie and Oscar, and we're talking about really healthy food in a gourmet setting and coming from their farm to your table. So stay tuned, and you can get all this information at brightsideglobaltrade.org. And if you happen to be at one of their events or ordering any of their food, snap a picture and post it in the comment section, and we'll give you 2 free tickets to our next conference. We do one every single month. Amazing prizes and amazing things, and you meet some great people. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.